This is for entertainment purposes only. This short story is only for people over the age of 18.
When the good part of a story is at the end, you give a brief glimpse of that end before filling in details. To that end, I want you to picture a naked, muscular blonde flexing muscles that only 1% of bodybuilders would have. Give her blue electric eyes that were blank as marbles and focused out further than a football field. Her voice was like that of a robot trying to sound human, saying,
"I am whatever you want me to be."
For me, this hits one of my major buttons, that of control over another person. The second key to turn and activate my lust is her saying,
"I will be a doll for you to play with."
Rewind a few weeks and my last living grandparent went to the great beyond. Then last week, after we'd all had our regrets that Grandpa had passed, it was left to me to clean up his place. No one else in the family could do it. I say could because every family member was far out of state, and I, at least, was within a day's drive of his soon-to-be on-the-market home. Surprisingly, there wasn't too much to clean up. Some old furniture to be put on the curb with a free sign on it. There was some little used cookware, of which I'm keeping his impressively sharp carving knives. I didn't fall to my knees before his spectacular entertainment system, but I was close. I'm keeping everything there, and the rest of my family could fight me for the TV that will literally fill a wall of my apartment. I also found his computer setup. It was an amazingly up-to-date system with ridiculous amounts of RAM and processing power. The only out-of-place item was a box, a Rubik's Cube-size black metal box, externally hooked up with what looked like a badly homemade USB cable. I wasn't sure what it was since it wasn't a power source, or external hard drive, or even a speaker. Upon activating the computer, it asked for a password. Thankfully, Grandpa had his passwords locked in a safe that I had a key for. Most of the files on the computer were normal, money, bills, simple gaming programs, and then I found a hidden file that was simply called The Box. In the file was a Word document that consisted of a list of names. There was also a file titled The Box Notes. I looked at what Grandpa meant by this box. He thought it was alien in nature. Grandpa also gave instructions on how to use the box. If you had an image and name of a person, they, no matter where in the world they were, would become an obedient slave through the box. They would live their lives normally until a signal goes out from the box, and then they would obey whatever was typed into the program for the box. There was a drop-down file in the program of all the men and women Grandpa had already controlled, and it was a lot of women. The program was not professional, but it was simple. A drop box for a picture, less than a year old, the person's name, and then a box for typing in whatever. Once you had that person in the program, they were at your command for life, or at least according to Grandpa. I saw his list of women and went for one named Samantha Jenkins, at random. It pulled up a woman with blonde hair and a fitness body with a picture that was at least 5 years old, given hair and clothing styles. There were also the commands that Grandpa had given her. Grandpa liked them lean and muscular, and made me wonder if he used the box on Grandma before she passed in a driving accident on her way to the gym. Samantha had been given the command to get into weightlifting and work out for 4 hours a day, 6 days a week. Her body fat had to be in the low single digits. There was more about skimpy clothing with several criteria that would have left her almost naked. There was more about never having another man but Grandpa. It went on and on for several paragraphs as Grandpa turned the woman into a large-breasted, overly muscular, nearly exhibitionist, slave. I wondered how far away Samantha Jerkins lived when I sent out a command, through the box, to have Samantha come to my place, in addition to obeying any command I gave her. I then packed everything up into the rented moving truck and started the long drive back home. Samantha showed up 10 minutes after I did. With a command, she helped me move the movie screen-size TV into my place. Her large muscles came in handy moving the rest of the stuff. She started asking questions while I was getting Grandpa's computer up and running. Then I had the box hooked up, started the program, and initiated some commands. Top of my list was to make this obnoxious and really attractive blonde babe act like a robotic doll. This really is a fetish of mine. I love doing my job at a data center, but in my free time, I look online for anyone into a living doll or robot fetish like me. They're few and far between, and none of them have the attractive body of Samantha. Thinking about my Amazon wishlist, there is that human-size wind-up key that would be strapped to someone's back, but make them look like a wind-up toy. I could make Samantha into my obedient human robot. I could make anyone into my obedient human robot. With social media, you get their image, and a little digging would reveal their real name. With my empty-eyed slave next to me, doing things with her hand, to me, that might result in a mess, and I'd have her clean up. I was looking at the names on Grandpa's list. I noted a few movie stars and starlets. I saw at least 20 politicians I'd actually heard of. Most of the names meant nothing to me. Then I saw my name. In that moment I had Samantha stop and stand up to be a flexing happy doll, since she would have had a better chance getting a bit of yarn to rise. I didn't know what to expect when I clicked on my name and saw the picture from my freshman year of high school. Grandpa, miles away, decades of wisdom, had been guiding my life for over 10 years. I'll admit, if he hadn't helped me with the box, then I would probably have ended up in prison or dead. Looking at the commands Grandpa had given, it was to keep me from doing really stupid shit. I had no idea he loved me as much as he did, to use his godlike power to keep me from doing things that would have ruined my life and my future. In that moment I realized I would help people, even if they didn't know it. I didn't have the same wisdom of my grandfather, but I did have the same means. Would I do as good as Grandpa? Probably not. I would try, and in doing so, help myself. I couldn't help but think, while looking at the wildly sexy and flexing body of Samantha, and wondering, how many times did Grandpa help himself? The old man was human, not a saint, and with godlike power over people's minds, I can't blame him for helping himself.
The end. This was a work of fiction. Any similarity between people, living or dead, is purely coincidence. This scenario did not, or should not, have happened in real life. Thank you for listening.